Hello and welcome, friends. Today we have another Chinese fountain pen, a school fountain pen from my box. And today we will talk about this beautiful Hero 331. I think you remember episode where I talked about Hero 330 model. And in a way, we will compare the two models to see what difference the producer made. There are quite some small differences, and you can realize that because we have the same model. The difference is the last digit, the last number in the name. But there are also some visible differences between the two models. We're talking about Chinese fountain pens made in the 1980s, so these are vintage Chinese products. I will start with the cap. I want to do this video like parallel between those models. So we have the Hero. This is the 331 model, and this is the old model. Let's put them. So this is the old model, the simple 330, and this is the 331. You can see that they changed the, let's say, the orientation of the characters of the Hero. This seems like an italic character or font, and this is a simple font with Hero. We can also see a design in the clip. This is more rounded and this is more linear, let's say. Let's see if we have the same spring. So at the first model, not so good, but on this model, we can see that they added a spring here, so it's much more flexible and practical than the other model. At the end, the old model had this conical shape, and the new model, it has this plain, not straight, but like a small, let's say like a crater. In this model, unfortunately, there was also a design element. It was gold plated, but it was lost in time. And we can see that on the other model, there wasn't such an element, but also like a conical ending of the barrel. Of course, the colors of the barrel are different. We have a burgundy color and a blue color. Also, at the end of the cap, on the old model, we have 330, and that's it. And on the other model, we have some Chinese characters. Let's focus and see them. Okay, Chinese characters. And the model 331. And also on the back, we have made. Let us focus. Yes, made in China. The gold plating on the newer model has lasted. You can see the old model has lots of scratches on it, but maybe this was used more than the newer model. The cap is friction fit on the old one, and on the new one the same friction fit. And now I want to show you um, distinct element between them. You remember that my 330 model was missing the nib, but this isn't a problem. I just want to show you that at the end of the graphic section, we see here on the old model that we have an arrow shape and it was painted. On the newer model, and I hope you can see on the sun, We have in the plastic also a dynamic shape. You can see that on the plastic, on the black grip section, we have these cuts. I hope you can see them because they are quite hard to spot on the camera. And it makes the shape of it dynamic. I didn't like the lighting from the initial video, and I want to show you the dynamic shape of the grip section. So you can see that this part is quite cylindrical, but a line starts that ends right on the top of the gripping section, and it practically gives this instrument a quite dynamic look. It's like the shape of an arrow, like a rocket. And this is a cool design trait of this Chinese hero fountain pen. I hope you can see that line in the grip section. It is quite interesting. If we put them side by side, we can see that the grip section of the newer model is slightly more long than on the old simple model of the 330. The barrel unscrews, and I want to show you. We begin with the old model. We are familiar. This is the aerometric system borrowed from the Parker 51. We have written Hero on the metal part that protects the sack. Here we have a very old sack. It needs to be replaced. Okay, let's leave the old model and we'll go to our model, the newer model, the 331. So on the 331, we have only made in China, and that's it. It's the sack is in better shape than on the other models, so I will do a writing sample with this model. But till then, I will leave the measurements of the 331 on the screen so you can compare them. And why not, I will leave also the measurements of the 330 model, although I did a review on it, and I will leave it in the description of this video. Okay, and now I want to disassemble and show you the inner parts of it. So first time you will see that this is very hard to unscrew because it's secured by some glue. But if you take heat source and you can use a hair dryer and simply apply heat for 1 minute, you will see that you can easily open it. Okay, so this is the insides of the 331 model. We can see the nib. It is a steel nib, gold plated, and we can see the let's see, the feet on the back, and it has this part like it seems like also an inner feed that brings out the ink from the barrel. Of course you can remove them, and I will do that, and you can see that we have a tube that brings the ink. Okay, I will put this part, put this here, I'm sorry, I have to clean. Okay, and now let's disassemble the old model 331. Remember that unfortunately on this model we don't have the nib. It was removed. And let's see the difference between the old model and this model. We can see a transparent plastic part here in comparison with this part over here. They are practical. This is the difference. And maybe the feed, the ebonite feed, is slightly thicker on the old model, and on the new model is thinner. So practically no changes. You can see a slightly rounded metallic part, and this metallic part is flat on the new model. At the old model, the same. Practically, you can see that the tube is inserted in the feed section, and this was the Hero 330. I will put the barrel back on and the grip section back on. Okay, this was the 330 model. I will leave it aside because now I want to ink the Hero 331 for the first time in all this time. For the ink, I will use the Parker Quink. Give it a little shake. We open the aromatic system, reveal the aromatic system, and the sac seems all right, so I believe it will draw the ink. You can hear the sound. Clean it. Okay, and I believe that now we are ready for the writing sample. I hope it will work because this is the first time that I will use this fountain pen. Let's see. This is the Hero 331. I have a slightly problem with the ink flow. I don't know if you see. Make some not a great ink flow, but I think it wasn't used in a long time. So this is a fine nib, is a steel nib, plated. I don't know if it's gold plated, but I don't think it's gold plated. But it has a gold color. As a steel nib, we don't see any line variations, so no. This is a Hero 331. It is made in China. Let's say it's the next model, step up from the 330 model that I've also reviewed on my channel. I will leave the link in the description of this video. This was my review of the Hero 331 model. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope that you like this small series episodes in my channel where I talk about affordable Chinese fountain pens from the 1980s and 1990s, the years of my school days. See you for another episode. As always, I wish you to have a nice day. What can I say? It's um it's a little bit I won't call it scratchy, but a nice student fountain pen from the 80s at an affordable price. Thank you and bye bye.